Welcome back to Forgotten Working Class Podcast. I am Tiffany.
I'm John.
Today we have with us our guest, Sam. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Where are you calling from?
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Currently at work right now, just sitting in my car.
That's awesome. How old are you?
I'm 33 years old. Just turned 33 on the 26th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm 34. John's 35.
Oh, nice.
We're all the same age. Are you in a relationship? Do you have children?
I have twins on the way. First time having kids, so God bless me with the doozy. And yeah, should be getting married here soon too as well. So yeah, I got big things coming up in my life.
That's exciting.
That's good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You having girls, boys?
We don't know yet. They're die fraternal twins, so kind of relieved, now they can't pull pranks on me and stuff. Because I can totally see that happening.
Do you twins run in the family?
No, this is the first time in either of our family trees that twins have happened.
Wow.
So I think they said it was like a 1 in 200 chance.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, super crazy. It'll be a blessing, and equally terrified as much as I am excited.
I bet. Double the toys, double the diapers.
Hopefully.
Double everything. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
That'd be
so
awesome.
That we can just be one and done. Yeah. We don't have to try anymore after
that. That's right.
That's exciting. So you're all dirty. You're at work. What do you do?
So I'm a welder fabricator. I just actually started this new job. I was working up in Greeley, Colorado, which is about 60 miles away from here. So I was driving about 130 miles a day round trip after everything was said and done. Working 10-hour days. So, I'd have to leave at like 5 in the morning. Well, not too long ago, I was working at 6. So I was waking up at 4, leaving at 5. Don't get back till 6, and it made for a pretty long day. It was pretty rough. So I just got a new vehicle, and within like a couple months, not even a month, I put like 5,000 miles on the vehicle. So I was like, I can't be doing this, especially with twins and everything on the way. I decided to make the transition and find a better job in Cheyenne. Thankfully, God blessed me, and I did find one. And I've been here for about a week now, and we just got hit with a big project, and we're working 14 12s in a row. So
wow,
it's gonna be rough.
You're gonna be used to that with twins. That's your life.
Yeah. We should get used to the lack of sleep.
So what are you guys working on?
Right now we're working on a bunch of equipment for the oil field, substructures and some skids, which I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about the oil field, so I'm kind of learning as I go along. But it's pretty interesting. A lot of heavy duty metal, thick plates, hot welds, going through lenses on my hood like crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So before this, what were you welding on? Or what were you working on?
At the other company I was at, we did more decorative stuff. So I would build like hand railings and a lot of fencing for like really, really rich houses. Like these people would be spending like $200,000 on a fence. So a lot of decorative stuff, little tedious things here and there. But now I'm like a little happier to be away from that because it's not as tedious, and there's a lot more room for error on things. Not that I make that many errors, but
How'd you get into welding?
When I was like 21 years old, I was living in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I moved up there with my brother, and I was just working a dead-end job at Pepsi, making like $10 an hour and going nowhere pretty much. And my dad gave me the idea. He's like, well, why don't you try welding? And I never even looked at a welding machine before. I didn't even know anything about it. And I looked into the education for it, and it was pretty expensive. Weld tests are pretty expensive, not to mention the schooling by itself. And so then I got wind of Job Corps. And so I was like, I can go and get an education for free, get all my certifications for free, and even leave with a little bit of money in my pocket. So I knew that it was going to be a struggle and a challenge because they use it as a disciplinary measure for a lot of troubled youth. So it was a real test of my will not to, get in trouble while I was there. And, God's grace, I made it through. I actually set a record for the fastest completion time for that center's history in welding, because it's a 9 to 12 month program, and I finished it in 3 months with left with certifications and a job lined up. So I was like, okay, well, I enjoy welding. It's really fun, and I guess I have a natural talent for it. So I just kept pursuing it and went from there. Started welding aluminum pipe for electrical substations. Traveled all over America doing that for about 5 years, and then got really sick and tired of the traveling part. Always being away, moving from place to place. And the thing about substations are they're always out in the middle of nowhere. So there's not a lot of fun things to do anywhere close by. You get real bored. And so I decided to join the union here in Cheyenne, local 192, and that was going pretty well. And then the pandemic hit, and so we didn't have any work I was laid off for about 8 months. And
Jesus.
yeah, that got pretty rough. I had to make a career change, which sucks. I was only like maybe a year away from being vested in my pension and everything, but it is what it is. Then I just started kind of bouncing around from job to job. Tried starting a business with a friend of mine, and we weren't really seeing the same thing. So I branched off of that and decided to just start working for companies. And now I have a couple of business ideas in the works for myself. So
That's exciting.
hopefully I won't be working for anybody else much longer.
There's nothing like being your own
Yep.
boss.
That's right.
I agree.
You were just looking at all his welds, and he's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at your
Thank
stuff.
you, I appreciate it.
I seen that the rose, did you make the rose?
Yep, I made the rose, and I made it all
Yeah.
out of scrap steel. Cut everything out of the plasma cutter, hammered
Yep.
it out, and then I got into some silverware art. So I made another rose with a hummingbird made out of nothing but spoons and knives. Made that for my girlfriend. She loved it. So, and then I've been into drawing too for a long time. Another crazy thing is I just picked that up super quick out of nowhere. I wasn't even drawing for a year before I started drawing like hyper realistic portraits of people and stuff like that. So
Oh, wow.
I guess I just have a little knack for art. So I actually like doing metal
Nice.
art a lot too.
That's awesome. So like your dad told you to get into welding. Was anybody else in your family blue collar?
Not really. My brother's in the military. My father is a ex-police officer, and he's retired now. Now he's a pastor. And my grandpa was the only one in my family that was also a welder, but he was long done with it by the time I started into it. He was real happy to hear me doing it, but he's passed away for quite a while now, so he's probably still proud of me, I hope.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, our big thing here with arcing ahead is it's a blood type, and somewhere along the line in your family, there's blue collar workers, and you're talking.
It's in your genes somewhere. Yeah.
Blue
Yep.
collars also are officers and military, so.
Yeah, and it was crazy. My grandfather actually went to Job Corps and everything too, and I didn't even find that out until like way later in life. I was like, oh, kind of following in his footsteps a little bit, without even knowing it.
That's
super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy how life works.
Yeah. Other than working and making twins, what are your hobbies?
What was that last part? I didn't hear you, sorry.
What are your hobbies?
Oh, so I love snowboarding. Haven't been going too much lately, but I think I'm gonna blow the dust off my board this winter and do some with it. And then I like drawing, just like building things. Ride motocross when I get the chance to, and so probably won't be doing too much of that dangerous stuff much now because can't be doing that now. Maybe I won't be blowing the dust off the bike, but yeah, right now I just kind of like tend to my fiance, make sure that she's taken care of. This is what her first pregnancy as well, so she's super terrified and scared of how big she's gonna get. But I just got to be that good voice in her ear, keeping her motivated and everything.
Yeah, I had 2 children, and it's not easy being pregnant, but
Well, it's not easy having kids.
it's not easy having children, but
It's terrifying.
Yeah,
it is. It
I
is
feel you there. I am terrified.
But once the kids come and they're born, your mind is completely flipped around. Like all you do is look at them and you're like, oh my God, they're amazing. Then they do
Yeah,
get a little older, and they cause a lot of hell in the house. But you get, I don't know, I won't say you get used to it, because there's things that our son does that it's just like, what even happened? But it gets easier. I mean, your mind is not from terrified anymore. You actually enjoy it, but it is hard still.
Kids are awesome.
Yeah.
They bring a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
there's no greater blessing, is what my dad keeps telling me. So I'm excited for it. We're struggling with names. We don't even, well, finding out the genders is definitely going to help, but even without, or even with knowing, I think we're going to have some trouble figuring it out.
Nowadays, you can name your kid anything.
That is true.
Yeah, right.
You can go after like a welding rod. You can be like, this is 7018.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be hilarious. I don't know if my lady would fly for that, but
That's super cool.
now, for welding, do you do a lot of TIG, MIG, or stick?
I just got done doing a bunch of stick. I have experience in almost all of it. I was certified in TIG a while ago, but they kind of go on the honor system, so I technically wouldn't be certified anymore because it's been more than 6 months since I've done it. But my specialty is in MIG. I've been doing that the longest. I've done aluminum MIG. I've done dual shield hardwire, spray. Pretty much almost every aspect of MIG I've worked in some way or another.
I'm surprised you haven't started trying to do a lot of the. Have you done the like TIG art?
No, I don't have a setup for it. So that was a limitation that I've ran into. I've been saving up to get my own tools. The last company that I was working for was super cool about it. They allowed me in my downtime to just pretty much dig whatever I wanted out of the scrap bin and just let my mind go make whatever the heck I imagined.
That's
and
awesome.
That was really cool. That was probably my favorite aspect about that job. And so now that I don't have that anymore, I'm going to be trying to get my own equipment and everything. It's still a little challenging. Me and my fiance are just living in an apartment right now. We're saving up for a house, so we're hoping to get into a house before the kids are born because we don't have a very big place right now. But so once that happens, best believe I'll be making a little shop in the backyard and
Yeah.
going from there. Because I got a lot of ideas, I just don't have a lot of ways to implement them.
Well, it's nice to hear that you have long-term goals. Like you're talking about starting your own business. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
it'll
it.
be I actually have two businesses in mind. One's going to be obviously just a welding business. That's the name on my TikTok is actually what I was going to name my business, Bezaleel, who a lot of people don't know what Bezaleel is. And it was actually the the metal artisan in the Bible that created the Ark of the Covenant. So he has been known for his great metal skills. And I was like, that'd be really cool to name it after him. But
That is cool.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of second guessing it though. A lot of people are like, like they just don't even know how to pronounce it. So maybe simplifying it.
Arcing. Oh, you can't even see it in this thing, can you? Yeah. Arcing ahead. Well, that name. Do you know how many people say arching ahead? Or they just look at it and they say, I don't get it. And I'm like, I was electrocuted. Arcing ahead. And they're like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm like, I get what's an arc? Put a positive and negative together, you'll see.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people that don't understand it, they find out when they see one, they're like, oh, that's an arc.
Yeah.
But
that's a really cool name.
So,
I think you should just go with it.
Yeah, I think you should too. There's a big
I think I'm going to. I've already made business cards and everything for it, so it's kind of a waste if I didn't just pursue it with that. I wanted to keep like God in my business because I plan on donating a lot of money that I make, and helping other people out wherever I can. And I want to, but in this day and age, it's society is so secularized that a lot of people might even shy away from a business that is blatantly named after God. So I figured Bezaleel was a good way of keeping God in the name without people knowing too much about it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is politics and it's crazy nowadays.
Yeah, everything's backwards nowadays. It's kind of frightening. That's another aspect of terror that I have with bringing my kids into this world. And it's like, I'm looking more and more into homeschooling them. I don't know if I even really trust public schools anymore, honestly.
It's definitely scary times. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a middle schooler and a kindergartner, so we're living in two different worlds at the same time.
Yes.
And the things we hear from her, and then the things we hear from the
Ki-
little guy, it's like
Kids are bad, man.
they're so bad.
Middle school, when
Yeah,
she
they're
started,
brutal.
the stuff we heard.
But at
Yeah,
the
at least
same
you guys are
time,
in Florida. DeSantis seems to be a good guy running the state pretty well.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't talk politics on here, but we are happy living down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I've been
as
thinking
for
about moving down
kids-
there myself.
As for kids, I mean, we know as adults, there's bad people everywhere. It's just who you surround
Yes.
yourself with. If you want to instill God in your children, do that. You know, they'll be protected.
For
They
sure.
know they're loved. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah.
You know, is that God's taking care of
Absolutely.
all of us.
Yes.
So
And then this other business idea that I had was going to be a portable farm kind of deal. It's like a 40-foot connex with an advanced hydroponic system in it to grow, like herbs and lettuce and, pretty much things to supply groceries and restaurants
like
with. And
a portable greenhouse.
yeah, pretty much. It's called,
Yeah.
there's a company that makes it, and it's called Farm Box Foods, and they're actually like brilliant. They designed it to be basically for NASA when they wanted to start populating other planets. They would be able to bring a capsule with them and grow food on another planet. And so I was doing a lot of research, and there is nothing like that around my area. So me and my dad are gonna go in on one, and pretty much you can grow it year round, dead of winter time. You can grow, and it turns over about 400 pounds of greens a week because you
Holy moly.
will have constantly replenishment from mature plants to seedlings and, all in between. So going to be supplying a lot of the restaurants and grocery stores around here with fully organic, fresh produce that is literally from the time it's harvested to the time it's in their establishment. It could be as little as a half an hour, so they're not paying freight shipping or anything like that, and they know it's going to be good quality.
That's an amazing idea.
that is an amazing idea. I love the
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. I really hope
Yes.
all this works out for you.
Yeah, me too. I got to do some. I can't just be working dead end jobs now with twins on the way. I want to give them a good life.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I cough all the time.
So, is there any advice you have for going back to the younger generations? Like me and John are talking all the time now. You know, everybody's on the phones, on TikTok, social media. We've talked to other people in unions, and everybody's just so distracted by phones. Do you
Yeah.
have any work ethic advice?
To the younger generation, I would say, the money for a career right now are in the trades. A lot of people are going to college and graduating and not even finding jobs in the areas that they went to school for, and have massive amounts of student debt that sticks with you for life. Student debt is not forgivable.
Yeah.
So, and my advice would be to find a trade school, be an electrician, be a plumber, be a welder. You learn that skill and you can get good at it. You can eventually make your own business. And that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. So, and I know a lot of people that have been very, very successful doing that. And it just seems like a long time ago that everybody was pushing for college jobs, and now a lot of the college jobs are filled up, and trades are where the money's at now. It really is.
Absolutely. Yep. Support blue collar all the way.
Right.
We keep telling
Yep,
these kids,
100%.
get off your phone, start working with your hands, learn something.
Yes. The phones can be useful. You can learn a lot of good stuff on there if you're using it the right way.
Right. YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any questions for John?
Yeah, I was actually curious about the context of your accident. Like, what were you doing for work when it happened?
So I was a miner.
Oh, wow.
And the machines I worked on were 4160. That's what they run off of. They weren't diesel or anything like that, all electric. And I was working inside where high voltage comes into one of the machines. And that's it. I woke up in the hospital out of a coma, and I got hit with 4160 in the head. It exited out the back of my neck. I have scars all over. They actually, your lat muscle in your back.
Yep.
So they took my whole lat muscle out of my left side and put that on my head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it burned all the tissue, all the skin off. Like, if you've seen
Holy
my
crap.
TikTok, you probably have seen my skull.
Yes, I have.
So
That's wild, man. Yeah, I've worked in electrical substations for a long time around massive amounts of electricity, so I'm all too aware of the dangers of it. And
yeah,
man, I'm just glad you're alive still. God
it is
really
not
looked out for
forgiving.
you. Yeah, not at all. There's an exit and an entry.
It does not care what you look like, what color you are, nothing. It is just ruthless.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I'm glad that you survived, man. I feel like it seems like you guys are doing a lot of good now. And you know, I was watching your live the other day, and someone had said that God's not done with you, and I just that comment rang in my head, and I was like, definitely not done with you. You guys seem like you're doing good things, and I'm
Thank you.
you know
That's what we're trying
really
to.
honored to be on your podcast. Honored to meet you.
Yeah, we're trying to help. What we like to do is support blue collar. We want you guys to come on and tell your experience. It's your time to shine. This has nothing to do with us. You know, we want to give you guys the spotlight because you all deserve it. And that's why we really started this, because people have been injured. We want them on. We want them to talk about what they've overcome. And then blue collar, you know, for everything that this country runs off of, everybody looks down on blue collar. They think
Yeah,
you're
I
just
know.
out there playing in the dirt. They don't realize that everything you're doing is what makes their cars run, what makes their houses, you know, their houses are built. You know, the food on your table is from farmers. You know, and everybody looks down on blue collar. So we wanted to make a platform where we show
All the hard work and dedication, you know,
what these men and
Yeah.
women are
you
doing
work
out
all
here.
these long hours
Backbone
to
of
get-
America.
Yeah. So that's what we want to do. And then, you know, for the people that have been injured, we like to have them come on and tell their story. That way,
We can promote
hope
safety as well.
that, and hopefully, you know, this person's story helps this person that was listening to it to show that, you know, you're not alone.
Yep.
You're not the only one that's been in a dark place, you know, and try to help motivate and inspire these people.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing it. It's really cool.
Thank you. And it was awesome to have you
Yeah,
on
we're
here
honored to
with
have you on.
Yeah, appreciate it. Likewise.
us. All right, Sam. Well, I know you got to get back to work.
Yep,
Please keep in touch. We want to see
I
pictures
will.
of those babies.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'll be posting. I'll be making twin TikToks about them. Twin
my
talks.
All the funny things that they're about to do. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, we'll
You'll
see what
have fun.
happens.
Kids
You'll
are the
enjoy it.
best.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Just make sure when they start talking and the random things are coming out of their mouths, make sure you video it, because later on down the road when they're like 10 or 13, you pull that out and be like, hey, do you remember this?
Embarrass them on their first date.
Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you guys. I do got to get back to work, but I appreciate you having me on here, and you know, God bless everything that you guys are doing. I really think it's really cool.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. We wish you nothing but the best. Keep
You
in
as
touch.
well. I will. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.